Hey there, we're back for another episode of Colorado Goes Supreme, asking the question, how does a case get to the Supreme Court anyway? It's not easy for a case to get to the Supreme Court. This Baca case getting there, it's the exception. The Supreme Court takes less than 100 cases a year. They don't have to take cases unless they're a dispute between two states. And out of 7,000 or more, like I said, they took less than 100. So this case was a long shot, but what this case had going for it was it's super important how the Electoral College works. And the highest courts of Washington State and the Federal Appeals Court here in Colorado, they disagreed. So only the Supreme Court could referee that disagreement. So this is something special, and we're going to take advantage of this opportunity to teach you about it. In Washington, the case came up through the Washington Supreme Court because the Washington Supreme Court decided that even under federal constitutional law, there was no problem with the state binding an elector to vote the way that the people of Washington did. In Colorado, the case came from federal court, first in federal district court, and then federal court of appeals. And the federal court of appeals in Denver said states could not bind their electors under the U.S. Constitution. That creates two different cases with different results. The Supreme Court took notice of that split between the different jurisdictions, and the Supreme Court took both cases and consolidated the two. This case then raises the question that we all should know is, can a state Supreme Court decision be reviewed by the U.S. Supreme Court? The answer, yes, if it's a matter of federal constitutional law. And of course, federal cases can also be reviewed by the Supreme Court. So on issues of federal law, the Supreme Court gets the final word. And here, the Supreme Court will finally decide whether or not electors can be bound by states to vote the way the people of the states vote. So stay tuned, and we'll find out.